So here's a wild idea. What if the real secret to a peaceful life comes from combining two philosophers who seem like they should be mortal enemies? On the one hand, you've got the philosopher of pleasure, and on the other, the philosopher of pessimism. We're going to see if we can team them up to build a really practical guide for finding some calm in this crazy world.
You know the feeling, right? You work hard, you achieve a goal, you finally buy the thing you wanted. And for a minute, maybe a day, it feels amazing. But then, the feeling just fades, and you're right back on that treadmill chasing the next thing. This whole cycle of wanting something, getting it, and then wanting something else, it's exhausting. And believe it or not, our two philosophers had a lot to say about exactly why this happens to us. And here they are, our unlikely duo. In one corner, we've got Epicurus, a guy famous for his pursuit of pleasure. And in the other corner, Arthur Schopenhauer, who is, without a doubt, one of history's greatest pessimists. I mean, how on earth could these two possibly agree on anything, let alone give us a unified strategy for a good life? Well, that's the puzzle we're going to solve today. Okay, so to get to a solution, we first have to get a really clear picture of the problem. And for that, we have to turn to Schopenhauer for his brutally honest but weirdly powerful diagnosis of what it means to be human. Schopenhauer's big idea is something he called the will to live. Now, try to think of it like the universe's background operating system. It's not a conscious thing, it's just this blind, restless, endless striving that's in everything, from a plant twisting towards the sun to our own constant nagging desire for, well, for more. And here's the kicker. This force can never, ever be fully satisfied. It's designed to always want the next thing. And this is exactly how that will traps us. It's a perfect loop. A desire pops up, we strive for it, we get it, and there's a quick hit of satisfaction, which very quickly fades into boredom. And what does boredom lead to? A brand new desire. And the cycle starts all over again. Schopenhauer's genius was realizing this isn't a glitch in the system, this is the system. Living your life just chasing one want after another is, for him, a guaranteed recipe for suffering. So, if Schopenhauer's right and the game is basically rigged, what are we supposed to do? What should we be aiming for instead? Well, let's switch gears and bring in Epicurus, because he offers us a totally different and, frankly, a much more achievable target to aim for. But first, we have to clear something up because it's a huge misconception. The word Epicurean today makes us think of fancy food, expensive wine, luxury, all that stuff. But that popular image could not be more wrong. Epicurus wasn't about lavish parties, he was chasing something much, much deeper and way more sustainable. This was his true goal. Ataraxia. It's a Greek word that basically means a state of profound tranquility, a deep sense of calm that's free from anxiety and mental noise. You see, for him, it wasn't about adding exciting pleasures. It was about removing the things that cause us pain and worry in the first place. This slide just nails the difference. Epicurus completely flips our modern idea of pleasure upside down. For him, the highest form of pleasure wasn't some huge feast, it was simply the absence of hunger. It wasn't fame or power, it was just the quiet, easy company of good friends. Real, lasting pleasure, he argued, comes from simplicity and tranquility, not from the heavy burden of trying to get more and more stuff. Okay, so we have Schopenhauer's diagnosis of why we're always dissatisfied, and we have Epicurus's totally new goal for how we should live. Now, let's mash them together and build a practical toolkit for a quieter life. And this right here is the key insight of this whole explainer. Schopenhauer's pessimism isn't supposed to make you depressed, it's supposed to be liberating. Once you truly accept that the endless chase for more is a game you can't win, you're suddenly free to stop playing. His pessimism provides the powerful motivation to actually follow through on Epicurus's incredibly simple, but let's be honest, sometimes difficult, advice. So here's your first practical tool, the triage of desires. Epicurus says you should sort every single desire you have into one of three buckets. First, you completely eliminate the vain and empty ones, like fame, extreme wealth, power. Schopenhauer would totally agree these are the will's biggest traps. Second, you minimize the natural but unnecessary ones, like gourmet meals or designer clothes. And third, you just focus all your energy on easily satisfying the simple, necessary desires. This is how you start to master the will instead of letting it master you. Epicurus's advice to live unknown was so radical, especially back then. He and his friends literally withdrew to a place they called the Garden, just outside of Athens, to get away from the drama of politics and the rat race. Now, this isn't about becoming a hermit. It's about consciously creating a peaceful private life for yourself, one that's shielded from all the chaotic striving of the public world. So, what do you do with all the energy you save by not constantly striving for things? You fill that space with what we can call will-less activities. For Epicurus, the absolute best example was deep friendship and conversation. For Schopenhauer, it was losing yourself in art, music, or nature, those moments where your striving little ego just disappears for a while. The key is that these things are ends in themselves. They don't kickstart that painful cycle of wanting and getting. All right, let's put this all together, because this isn't just a list of tips and tricks. It's about adopting a whole new mindset for how you navigate your life. It's really about becoming what you could call a peaceful pessimist. This table really just lays it all out, doesn't it? Schopenhauer gives us the why. Life is, at its core, a struggle against this insatiable will. And Epicurus gives us the how. You achieve tranquility by managing your desires, living simply, and surrounding yourself with good friends. You see how both paths, when you put them together, lead to the exact same place, a simple, peaceful life. And this might be the most profound mental shift of all. You stop chasing this vague, fleeting, and honestly pretty stressful idea of happiness. Instead, your goal becomes something much more concrete and achievable. To skillfully manage an inherently tricky existence and to arrange your life so you experience the least amount of suffering possible. The paradox is that lowering your expectations like this is what finally allows genuine peace to show up. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. This isn't about radically changing your entire life overnight. It's about starting small. What's just one thing you're striving for right now? One of those natural but unnecessary desires, or maybe even a vain one, that you could consciously just decide to let go of, starting today.